All right, guys, we are live now. So thank you all for joining in. We are here with yet another episode of Market Ki Baat Chintan ke saath. In the session today with us, we have a promoter of Sneha Organics. It's a company which works on the circular economy of India. Try to recover the solvent and then repurpose it. We'll understand from them, the various aspect, nitty-gritty of this particular business, and help them understand a bit more about the company itself. Yeah. Now let's go to the main screen. Okay. All right. So Kiranji, welcome to the show. Uh,
Hello.
and we have CFO of the company, Sharadji. Welcome. Besides that, we have Mr. Shammi Khanna and Gaurav Gupta, who are both advisor to the company, helping the company to the IPO process. Just wanna recognize that Aurum Connect is the IR for the issue, and Fast Track is the LM for the this particular IPO. Yeah. So besides that, as usual, I have Dr. Nikesh Yadavji with me. So I don't think Nikesh Bhai now deserves any, introduction. So Nikesh Bhai, he is a VP in Solvent and holds a PhD in mathematics. Uh, we just do a small disclaimer so everybody's aware. My mouse is not working. Okay. So, guys, just wanted to tell you that we are neither me nor Nikesh Bhai or any. We are not SEBI registered. This particular session is just to give you an advice about understanding of the company. We are not suggesting you to either apply or avoid this particular company. Objective is to make your own decision based on the interaction. You can ask the questions. Feel free to write your questions, and I will ask that on your behalf. Yeah. So without further wasting our time, so Kiranji, if you can brief us a little bit about you, sir, and how you started Sneha Organics, just the roots. Yeah, I'll also bring the presentation as well. So over to you, sir. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Chintanji, for this introduction. It's truly an honor to be part of this exclusive briefing with you and on YouTube Live. Thank you so much for a varied audience also who are participating today. My name is Kiran Nandigala, born and raised in Hyderabad. Went to pursue my undergraduation in Flame University in environmental studies, where I learned a lot about the whole circular economy and how we can bring back things from waste to back into the supply chain. Moving forward, I also went on a semester exchange in Vancouver, Canada, and further learned about environmental studies. And back after my graduation, I did my master's in family business management from Indian School of Business, Hyderabad. So that's a little bit of introduction about myself on a personal front. And Sneha Organics was a complete business takeover that we have done in 2019. If you can just hold up the full presentation.
Yeah.
Perfect. I will issue the slides. Great. So once again, to give you a brief about Sneha Organics, this is a company that operates one of the most overlooked and underrated and in fact most essential part of the pharmaceutical supply chain, which is solvent recycling. So as you all know, pharmaceutical industry is known for producing some of the most important life-saving medicines, be it in form of syrups or tablets or capsules or even advanced injections or even cancer therapies. So to manufacture this, the pharmaceutical companies not only rely on APIs or the active pharmaceutical ingredient, they also have heavy reliance on solvents, because they are used in chemical reactions, they are used for purifications, they are used for extractions of the APIs and multiple other use cases. Basically, solvents are like water in the chemical manufacturing. So after the pharmaceutical industry uses these chemicals, it becomes spent solvents after the solvents are used. So these spent solvents have a lot of residues and have a lot of impurities, and they need to either be recovered or disposed. This is exactly where Sneha Organics comes in. Sneha Organics takes these products from them, from these pharmaceutical companies, and they we recover and purify these materials and give it back to the pharmaceutical companies, yes, in a form of circular economy. So this not only saves costs to the pharmaceutical companies, but also helps in supporting the environmental compliance. So, and this also reduces the reliance on the expensive virgin solvents that the pharmaceutical companies import on an annual basis. And we serve some of the top pharmaceutical clients in Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. Um, and the whole concept of our circular solution is firstly the environmental compliance. Um, because pharmaceutical companies have a lot of pollution control board norms, so they need to show how they dispose or reuse these solvents. And our solutions exactly help them comply with these norms. And secondly, the cost efficiency part, because the recovered solvents are cost much less than the fresh ones. It is a much more cost effective for pharmaceutical companies to continue using them. It's like getting clean water without the need of buying bottled water every time. And lastly, the circular economy concept, because of us being able to intervene in the supply chain and using the waste of the supply chain and get and purifying it and getting it back into the primary initial fundamental cycle of pharmaceutical industry is what makes us really unique. These are some various milestones
Kiranji,
that
one question. Yeah. So in pharmaceutical, where do we, I mean, where does the solvent gets used? Is it in a, let's say creation of the tablets, creation of capsules, if you can, or creation of, those API ingredients which we learned about. If you can help us understand that part a little bit. Yeah.
exactly. So, palm in solvents have very heavy, varied purposes. In as I mentioned, they have varied purposes in the pharmaceutical industry. They are used for reactions, they are used for purification, they are used for extractions, and they are used for various processes. And there are n number of solvents which are used for n number of compounds. Basically, for the most amount of requirement, they are used as a media where reaction takes place. So if you ever opened up a capsule and you can see a white powder in that, so that is the active pharmaceutical ingredient, and that is what actually cures whatever disease or whatever infection that you have. So to manufacture this API, there is a reaction. There will be few reactions will take 7 steps, few reactions will take 21 steps, few reactions will take 75 steps. So depending on the reactions, these reactions have to take place in a media. They cannot happen in air, nor they can happen in water. So this needs to happen in a controlled media. This is where huge volumes of solvent is required. So depending on the manufacturer and depending on what API they are manufacturing, that specific solvent, depending on the compatibility, is used. So these are not only used in pharmaceutical, they're used in cosmetics, they're used in agrochemicals, they're also used in paint industry. So we cater to varied specialty chemicals, pharmaceuticals, as well as paint and agrochemical divisions overall.
Thank you.
And this, sorry, uh, do you have a question, Chintan?
No, 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 sir. Go ahead. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So these are some of the major milestones over the years. We've taken over this company in 2019 from a few shareholders when it was a partnership company, and in 2002 we converted that into a private limited company, and we have continuously increased our installed capacity as well as utilization capacity year on year, and our PAT also has significantly improved from 7.1 to 28% over the last 4 financial years. And in 2025, we converted from a private limited to a public limited, marking the real readiness of a large scale inorganic growth.
So
These are
किरण जी
some
थोड़ा
brief.
सा if you can थोड़ा सा अपने बारे में बता सकते हैं सर आपने क्या what is your education background, how did you ये वाले धंधे में आप कैसे आ गए सर, थोड़ा सा फैमिली और थोड़ा अपने बारे में बताइए सर.
Exactly. So, as I told you, I was born and raised in Hyderabad itself, and we have a family business of trading the virgin solvent. We used to, we import virgin solvent and sell it to pharmaceutical industry over 2.5 decades. So we've been doing that. And in 2019, see, I am a environmental study student. I've always learned, and I have a great passion to recycle and give a circular economy of things, because you see the wastage of resources that were happening, that has been happening all over. In a growing economy like India, if we can have a circular economy concept, that will give a lot of growth to MSMEs and varied ancillary companies in India. So that was always my passion. And because we have a great experience of handling these chemicals and solvents, in 2019 we have taken this strategic decision to take over this complete 100% stake from few partners, the four partners who were
I think Kiranji is having some technical difficulty. Let's just wait for him to join back.
I think, are we back on?
Yes, yes. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead, Kiranji.
Yeah. So we have taken a strategic decision to take over this company, because we have great connections in the pharmaceutical sector, which will help us source the raw materials with with ease. So we have very less customer acquisition cost. At the same time, because of handling these solvents and chemicals, we had great experience of achieving the highest purity of materials with highest output. So that is the reason of, that is the backbone, and that is how we have decided to give this circular economy concept into our expertised field of solvents and chemicals. So moving further, this is the brief profile of some the key managerial personnel who are the directors and whole-time directors and managing directors of the company.
So,
And these are some of
Kiranji,
the main
sorry,
products.
Kiranji, I would request Sharadji to introduce himself, yeah, because it's good to see a CFO, in the company, in a SME company. So, would definitely like to hear a little bit about Sharadji as well, yeah,
Yeah,
since he's
about his past and his experience. Yes, great.
Yes. Hi, myself Siraj Chandra, currently serving as CFO of Sneha Organics. So I bring with me 12 years of working experience in finance and accounts field. So I used to work with 3F Industries as well as Shrestha Natural Bioproducts Private Limited and IO Technologies, and now currently I'm working with Sneha Organics. So having expertise knowledge in fundraising as well as finance, accounts, and taxation, and as well as statutory audits.
lovely to hear that, sir. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kiranji, you're on mute.
Yeah, sorry. And Sharath also has great experience with 24 Mantra as well, as you are well versed with regards to
Yes.
almost taking it public. Yeah.
Yes. So the name has been, the brand name is 24 Mantra Organic, whereas the company name is Shrestha Natural Bioproducts. So many of them are aware about 24 Mantra Organics. So that's the brand name. So I have worked with nearly 5 years over there. So we have filed our DRHP and everything has been done. So somehow we didn't go for the final listing. Now the company has been acquired by ITC recently.
Great, sir.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a little bit about our experienced CFO on our panel. He's been with us for about 3 years now. And yeah, moving on to the presentation again. These are some main products that we are currently dealing with. These include ethyl acetate, toluene, acetone, dimethyl formamide, and methanol. These are all petrochemical derivatives which are being imported in huge volumes, mostly from Middle East and all the oil producing companies in the Middle East. So they're all petrochemical derivatives, and the pharmaceutical market is heavily relying on key products like this for their API manufacturing process, as I explained earlier.
So,
And here's a little bit. Yeah, sorry.
Kiranji,
Go on.
if you can help us understand, which are the main product out of this 5 that we have listed, where do we get the maximum amount of revenue from, and what are the usage of each of this product? If you can explain that
So
aspect.
each of these products are used in a very dynamic way depending on the API. So it's not like only a single product is used in API. All of these products are used in different processes in APIs, and also they can be mixed with each other also. It's not one homogeneous product that is used. They use a mixture of these products to make a specific API, or in different stages of the API they use different solvents depending on what they. It's a huge chemical synthesis chemistry which involves multiple reactions that takes place. But talking about Sneha, we get a lot of volume in all of these five. But if we have to concentrate, ethyl acetate, toluene are the major amount of revenues, contributing to around 50% of the revenue, the materials wise. I mean, 50% of the revenue, 50% of the production.
Okay.
What we do.
And so, do we sell this as a individual solvent, or do we also do the mixture of two or three of this and provide that as a kind of a value added product as well?
No. That mixture is done by the pharmaceutical company depending on their STPs and SOPs. So they do not entertain any kind of mixtures of value-added services. We are a strict solvent recyclers. Our quality is providing a grade of solvent which is equivalent to virgin, which they can essentially replace. That is our agenda.
Okay. And
So these are the
in terms of,
products.
sir, for a pharmaceutical company, what will be the cost difference between using a virgin product versus a recycled product?
Okay, I will give a small brief about the model also by quantifying it, so the investors who are watching as well as the panel can have an idea. So basically, if you're talking about ethyl acetate and toluene, ethyl acetate is on toluene, both are priced around 75 to 85 rupees per of virgin solvent. So 75 rupees to 80 rupees per kg, which they be importing in different various ports, be it Mumbai or Visakhapatnam or multiple ports in South India, and they will get to their specific manufacturing location. And now, after the use is done, that is where they give it. We procure these materials uh, from their manufacturing facility with our in-house transportation. We procure it, we purify it, and we give it back to them with our own transportation. And we have a preset agreement to recover depending on the purity of the material. We have a preset agreement saying, for example, 80% of output percentage that we need to deliver it back. So once they deliver it back to them, they give us something called a job work charges for the contract manufacturing that we have done for them, or this contract purification that we have done for them. So these charges will vary around 18 rupees to 20 rupees per kg. So what they end up saving is a lot of amount. Instead of buying the virgin solvent at each and every cycle, they give it to recoverers like Sneha Organics, where we purify and give it back to them by charging a job work charges of 18 rupees or 20 rupees per kg. So they are saving a lot. That is on the customer side. And as a manufacturer, as a recycler ourselves, because we're doing on such a huge volume and economies of scale, our cost of production is much lower. So what ends up happening is, because of our higher output achievement, because of our technical know-how, we actually get a higher output. For example, 85%, but nobody in the industry can give 85%. So as per the agreement, it is 80% only. So now, because of our technical know-how, we have achieved 85%. The remaining 5% goes into our pocket, which is a surplus, which we can sell it into the open market. So that is our added benefit in this solvent purification model. Hope that's clear. The complete business model, which is cost benefit to Sneha Organics as well as benefit to the final customer.
Yes, it's clear. Bro. Please.
So this is the capacity utilization for the last 4 financial years. As you can see, year on year, we've been growing our installed capacity, and we have been doing, we've been reinvesting in our installed capacity by not only refining it, but also expanding in terms of metric tons. And utilization capacity also at the same pace, it has been growing year on year.
So capacity is almost capacity to almost like close to less than 90%. So is there what is the future growth
Yes, I will talk this through once we go further with regards to what we want to do with this thing. I think that will help you. Grace, sorry to interrupt, but yeah.
No problem.
Yeah, sure.
So this is some facility. This is some images of our manufacturing facility, and we have a separate warehouse facility also. Our manufacturing facility is spread over 1.2 acres in Telangana. It is strategically located in Hyderabad also, which is very close to the pharmaceutical hub. And warehouse facility, we have a separate another warehouse facility which is 3,000 square yard, which is 3/4 of an acre, which is also very adjacent to the manufacturing facility. So we have ample amount of space to store the volume. We have almost close to 1,000 kl of solvent storage to store our crude solvents, and we have a special dedicated 600 kl of storage in our manufacturing facility itself to store our finished product.
Kiranji, are we owning the land here? Is it leased? If you can tell
It
us
is
anything
all
about
own land only. The manufacturing facility, whatever is on Sneha, but the warehouse facility is on rental basis.
And how far is the warehouse from the
It's
manufacturing facility?
adjacent. It is just adjacent to the sea. Yeah.
So I saw that we are also getting raw material from a neighboring state, also some faraway states like all the way from Uttar Pradesh. So how does that logistic works? Yeah, do we also have some?
Yes.
Are we using some third party warehouses as well to store product so that it reaches a full container or a full truckload, something like that? Or how does that work? If you can help me understand.
I will just briefly explain you. So this is the complete geographical presence that we have. So what we end up doing is a lot of the products that I told you, which we end up purifying. So what happens is we achieve during all of the transaction that we do, we end up achieving 90 to 95% of the total output of any kind of input that we get. We get around 90 to 95% of the output. So what happens is only 80 to 85% will be the actual virgin replaceable material, which equals to 99.99%. The remaining 5% or the remaining 10% will be an off-spec product. So this off-spec product will not be suitable as a virgin replacement. So this is not suitable in the pharmaceutical sector, because pharmaceutical sector uses utmost purity to manufacture these life-saving drugs. So this off-spec material, we end up selling it to companies who manufacture thinners, or who it is used in the paint industry or coatings industry or other packing or polypacking industry. So this we sell it all the way up till Delhi or UP and other northern states. So the sale of our products goes into north, but we don't procure any raw materials from these states. Our raw material procurement and majorly is around Telangana, AP, Karnataka. That is our major thing. But our byproducts, what we end up getting, goes into all the geographical presence. So this is the geographical presence of our sales rather than our procurement.
Okay, all right. And so in the yeah, go ahead, Nikesh. Nikesh, go ahead.
Yeah, so I was asking about this capex, like because in IPO proceed, the nothing like about capex is mentioned, only working capital is mentioned, and the capacity is almost like 90%. So how
exactly perfect. Yeah, I came to the slide to answer your question, sir. So now with regards to capacity expansion, what we're not specifically looking at a capex increase. What we are looking at diversification within the solvent recovery, because we want to right now change this complete job work model into a purchase and sale model. So what is happening is, because we've understood that our superiority is in the recovery, because of our technical know-how, we are able to achieve the highest purity return and highest output in any kind of pharmaceutical solvent usage. So now what we want to target is we want to expand our product portfolio by including high margin and high value products like acetonitrile, THF and isopropyl alcohol. So things like this, will definitely increase our top line as well as bottom line because of the model that we are changing. So now we are in a job work model where we are getting the material for free of cost, we are purifying it, and we are only getting a mere job work charges. So once we convert this from a job work model to a purchase sale model, what will happen is these materials are sold in huge volumes, and we have to, in bulk auctions, if we can get a lucrative price, we can get all the volumes, and we have a good storage facility to store all the crude raw materials, and we can use these materials, and depending on the margins, we can bid for these materials, we can purify, and the total output percentage, whether we get the 85%, totally we can sell it in the open market. It's not just selling it there. So we are getting the profit in total purify. So this is very much important.
Kiranji, s- Kiranji, sorry to interrupt. I don't know whether I am facing the issue in hearing you, or somebody else is also able, facing the same issue. Nikesh bhai, is Kiranji
Yeah,
audible?
there's a issue. Yeah, there is a issue. I think your microphone is little far, or maybe you're just moving your position, microphone position, maybe quite often. So microphone is not. Yeah.
So Kiranji,
Is
you
it?
were not. Yeah,
Yeah, now it's better.
I could not hear you properly in the last, answer.
Is it better now? I'm
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Yeah,
sorry.
this is much better. I don't
So
think it's a issue with the microphone. Maybe it's a issue with the network. Essentially.
okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry if any network issues. So yeah, so I don't know where till when I've was clear my message,
Maybe if you can
but
repeat that answer, sir. Yeah.
I will repeat the answer. So we want to shift from a job work model into a purchase sale model. So what ends up happening is when we are in a job work model, we are getting these products for free of cost, and we are purifying this material. And when we sell it back, we are getting a mere 15 rupees or 20 rupees, depending on the material, the job work charges. But we are only getting the excess material which we are selling in the public, in the open market. But when we change from this model into a purchase sale model, we can get the raw materials which is available in abundance in various pharmaceutical hubs, not only in Hyderabad, but we can also target in Karnataka, we can also target in Andhra Pradesh, and we can get the raw materials from there because these are usually in big lots, and these are in auctions. We can buy them and get it into our facility, and we can strategically pick what kind of products that we want to manufacture. Though we want to target high margin products like acetonitrile, THF, and isopropyl alcohol, and we can purify them and sell it in open market. So we have understood that our technical know-how is getting the most amount of output. So when we are doing a job work model, we are at the mercy of the principal. Whatever materials he provides us, we have to purify that and give it back to them. So sometimes we cannot achieve higher purity in some materials because of his impurities, or sometimes we because of and the materials what we can sell outside also can be low margin. So but when we switch from that into a purchase sale model, our top line and bottom line will not only increase, but it will be very sustainable because we are choosing what kind of raw materials we are purchasing. So that is our expansion. On rather than capital expansion, we want to invest in diversification within the solvent recovery, like diversifying our product portfolio. That is number one strategy. Number two, we want to focus on the process optimization and make our per unit cost much more lesser, and by always investing in advanced technologies which will enhance the production. And then nextly, we want to focus on the market expansion, because we focus on a hyper local model where we need to get the materials and purify the materials and give it back to them. So this is a very hyper local model, because we need to be close by to these pharmaceutical clients. So this is the same thing we want to replicate in a different regions like Karnataka, for example, which is a very niche pharmaceutical hub, which is immensely growing at an exponential growth. So we want to strengthen our presence in another pharmaceutical hubs like Karnataka and Bangalore region, where we can collaborate with pharmaceutical companies there and offer the same benefits. Lastly, the whole concept of us being eco-friendly and getting the recovery from the solvent users and purifying it and giving it back to them or the whole industry overall is the circular economy concept, which is our main core motto. So this is that is our commitment towards ecological footprint of multiple companies. And because all the big pharmaceutical companies have to follow ESG norms, the environmental sustainable goals norms that they have to follow, they need to recycle the solvents which is used by them. So that is our key strategies going forward. Nikesh ji, I hope that summed up our idea of going public and why, what is our, forward thinking mindset going forward.
Yep. Yes.
Yes. So going back, this is a small flow of how this process is, the complete process. First, we receive the used solvents, which is the raw materials from the pharmaceutical companies, and we do a thorough QC testing. And if it meets our standards, we'll store it. We will do a proper weighment and store it in our storage tankers. And then we do a proper neutralization to make them safe to handle. And then we do it, we send it to our treatment facility where through process of distillation, we remove the fractions and make the pure material. Once the purity is confirmed, we store the final product in our stainless steel tankers, and the remaining off-grade spec material will be also stored in different drums or storage containers, and it is also disposed to cement plants or other relied industries. And then the final after the final quality check is approved, we go into packing. Depending on tanker load or drum load, we store it in that material and we do the final delivery to the customer. This is the complete process flow of the solvent purification. And the main investment thesis is, number one, the circular economy play that we have, because we are able to achieve 90 to 95% of the solvents which has gone from waste and we put it back into the supply chain. This will reduce the raw material costs for the pharmaceutical companies and contributes to the circular economy. And secondly, Telangana and Andhra Pradesh contribute to 40% of the total API industry output in India. So our location being strategically located in the heart of Hyderabad gives us a very
Yeah, so we are having some technical issue at Kiranji's side. So we'll just wait.
Am I back on?
Yeah, you are.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. And thirdly, because of our purity and the output percentage, what we can achieve on dispatch to dispatch, we have a clear relationship built up with the customer. And because of our in-house testing labs that we have and the safety standards that we have in our warehouse and our manufacturing facility, this ensures an 80% repeat order ratio from the pharmaceutical clients. And lastly, our management, because we have a great history of dealing with pharmaceutical clients over last 2.5 decades. This has enabled us to cut down on our customer acquisition costs, because we have great relationships with pharmaceutical companies. We can go to anyone and easily procure the materials with least efforts. And this in turn helped us grow in volume, and our technical benefit helped us grow in terms of output. So it was a win-win situation from both sides, both from the marketing efforts to get in more materials where we do more amount of volume to reduce the cost of production, and from the technical team which has achieved highest output purity as well as highest output percentage, which has enabled us to get most of the output of the whatever the input the production is having. So we are getting less cost of production and highest output. So this was the reason for us to grow into this explosive growth.
Kiranji, one question. Yeah, if in the production process, do we combine the different solvent we are getting from, let's say, customer A plus customer B together into a one kettle when we are boiling it, or do we process it separately every time? What's the, how do you do?
Perfect. So each and every solvent that we get from each and every customer, even though the solvent is same, we do not mix any of them. So we have more than 78 storage containers in complete facility, where each of them are specific to each and every customer's input as well as each and every customer's output. Because when we are doing this contract manufacturing, the qualities should be top notch, because the impurity which comes in the final product also, even though the final purity is 99.9%, there is a 0.1% impurity.
Kiranji, again, we lost your voice. Yeah.
So yeah, when we are doing this purification process, each and every material is made separately. With the crude raw material or the finished product is sorted material wise.
Um, Kiranji, again, sorry, it's we are having still some issue.
I think let me just change my Wi-Fi connection.
Now it's back, by the way. So again, Kiranji, while you sort out one more question on this, so let's say when we go from, since it's a job work, I understand, but when we go into purchase and sale model, going forward, do we also would do the same thing, or can, in that case, we can actually then combine the multiple customer, the material we are purchasing and then extract it, or do we always have to do it batch wise? Whenever whatever we are receiving, we process it and then put the new one in.
No, no. When we are going into this purchase sale model, we can definitely mix two, three customers, materials into the same column, which will definitely increase the efficiency. But usually, what we do right now, also depending on the kettle size and depending on the purity, we do the highest amount of efficiency. Even right now, we don't. For example, if we have a 15 kl kettle, we try to use that for a 15 kl worth of material, and if we have a 6 kl kettle, we will use 6 kl worth of material. We don't underutilize any amount of kettles or columns as of now also. But going forward, what we can do is, if we have a storage facility, we can mix two three final customers product into the same storage. That will definitely increase our per solvent storage facility.
And
Yeah.
do we operate in a three-shift model or a two-shift
Yeah, it
model?
is. Every purification plant or a pharmaceutical plant will be functioning on a 24-hour shift. So that is the motto for it, because it runs on boilers and cooling towers which have to be purified, and each batch cycle time will take anywhere from 36 hours to 72 hours. So it
Okay.
cannot be stopped
Kiranji,
in the middle.
are you back?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
back. I'm able to listen. So किरण जी एक सवाल था कि जैसे what is the cost of per ton of recycling, जैसे ना solvent recycling, what is the cost of एक टन को recycle करने का cost क्या है?
एक टन को,
हाँ, 1 ton को
like, you cannot specifically tell how much is each ton, because it completely varies depending on
Okay.
product to product. And because the whatever input we get now, for example, there is 95% purity ka material. If you have to make it to 99.9% purity, there'll be a specific cost. 90% purity ka material, to make it 99.9% purity, it will be a separate cost. 85% का raw material लेके 99.9% on a different cost. So it is very subjective depending. So we cannot have one umbrella term that this will be the average, charges. But what I can assure you is, when we are doing the contract manufacturing or when we are doing this job work, we associate. If some cost is going to be 10 rupees per kg, for example, we will charge the customer according to that. If it's going to be 15 rupees per kg, we charge the customer according to that. So it is subject. Our job work charges, what we are charging the customer, is subject to the material what we are processing. So,
but can you give your approximate idea, like how much, like for minimum to maximum, like how much you its expense on for recycling the solvent? Can you give me approximately a range, for
See,
example?
it will be 10 rupees to 15 rupees per kg.
Okay. And per ton, how much you are making? Like also a promise idea, like per ton, how much?
Into 1000, if you see it, into thousands.
Once again, same range.
Same range.
Okay.
Will be
And
per
also I
kg
have
10
questioned
rupees.
this. Okay. 10 rupees. Yeah, 10 rupees you are making. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I also have this question. For example, why, like, for example, do you feel this as a threat that if this, pharma companies or from which you are procuring the solvent, they start to put this in-house, this thing. So what will, like, so for example,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
company where you saw, so why they are not doing
absolutely.
it? If you can answer this question.
Absolutely. This is one of the biggest threats that we also have. That a lot of the pharma companies themselves and a lot of pharma companies do it in-house itself. That is our biggest threat. So that is the whole reason for us to move from this job work model into a purchase sale model.
Okay.
So there are two
Perfect.
types of companies. One is customers and companies who use recovered solvents, which they purify and reuse it. And one set of customers who 100% have to use virgin raw materials only as an input, because these people are catering to the regulated markets like US and Europe who have stringent laws. And people who use reused solvents are catering to economies which are growing unregulated markets like India and Africa. So what ends up happening is when we go into this purchase sale model, we can target the customers, the regulated customers who use these materials for once and then they dispose in bulk scale. Whatever they have 100 tons, if they have 500 tons, in one bulk scale in the auction, they will completely sell it. If we get the competitive prices from them by having the right working capital, we can big this amount, we can buy it, and we can purify it, and we can sell it in the open market. Because we also have great experience with trading, we can sell it at a good premium market compared to any other player. So that will help us stabilize and normalize and make our results more sustainable. But right now, it will be at the mercy of whatever the principal is providing. So that is always a risk. So when we completely change our model, we have a wide range of horizon, because right now, if I have a hyper local model in Hyderabad, I can only focus on customers in Telangana or maybe in the bordering cities of Andhra Pradesh or Karnataka. But when I go into a purchase sale model, I can get the material all the way from Maharashtra, I can get the material all the way from Karnataka and purify it in my facility and sell it to the open market in Telangana itself. So this can widen my horizon and make my results more sustainable.
Perfect.
Uh, Kiranji, I have one question. So currently, do the customer do both the inbound as well as the outbound logistic to you, or you take
No,
care of that?
we do the inbound, outbound, everything. The customer does nothing. It's the logistics also is our scope only.
Okay. And so since we get, let's say, impure solvent in, and we have to ship out the pure solvent, so we have to wash the tank also, in between. How much time does it take, to, let's say, the whole process? Uh,
The whole process of washing or the whole process of distillation.
let's say the whole thing. Let's say once we get, let's say on, day one, we get the material in, and we send out the material. So how much time does it take roughly?
It takes about 4 days if from the time of it comes into our.
Not audible.
I'm lost again. I think I'm back.
Yes, you're back.
Really acting out.
Not an issue. Let's move forward. Yeah. Perfect. So it takes
Yeah.
4 days,
So,
right,
yeah.
for that.
So the whole cycle because the production itself will take somewhere from 36 to 48 hours depending on material, but you can take 1 week for the longest and 4 days to the shortest. That's the whole cycle of
And do we own any
time.
containers, Kiranji, or do we lease those containers and the trucks from a third party?
We used to do it from third party, but now to cut down on the logistic costs, this latest financial year, FY25, we have invested in our own trucks and have our own fleet of vehicles.
How many such trucks do we have, sir?
We have 10 fleet of 10 vehicles.
Okay, understood. Yeah, please let's get back to the presentation.
Yeah, I think Sharath can take over from here, the financial snapshot.
Yeah, hi. Coming to the financials for FY24-25, we have delivered a top line of 26.22 crores at a CAGR of 10% over the last 3 financial years. And our EBITDA stood at 11.4 crores and our PAT was stood at 7.3 crores. The upward momentum in margins is primarily driven by capacity expansions, improved capacity utilization, and enhanced economies of scale over the last 3 financial years, which we have achieved. And sir, can you come to the ratio?
Saraji, we have one question here from Nikesh. I would like to take. Yeah. So again, so you mentioned about capacity utilization, but if you look at, let's say, from last year to this year, our revenue growth has been, about 10%, but our PAT margin has grown significantly. Yeah.
Sir, if you see, one thing is that the capacity utilization has gone from 80 to 80% even after capacity expansion. So roughly around 700 metric ton we have processed, basically we have recycled more. So that is one thing.
What I wanted to know is that, see, we went from 23 crore to 26 crore, yeah, from FY24 to FY25.
That's what.
The margin increased from 15% to 28% on the PAT side. Yeah. So what did we do to achieve that?
No. Coming to this part, first thing is that, first of all, our revenue is contributing only from the contract manufacturing charges, what we charge to the customer. So basically, I will charge only 15 to 18 rupees to my customer. So I'm not charging the entire product value. So you cannot compare my revenue with my capacity utilization. First thing. Second thing is that last year we have done a marketing event to long-term customers and to build our customer relationship. So we have done one marketing event which is of 1 crore, which has been there in the operating expenses, other operating expenses. So that has been the difference why the margins are spiked up when we compare it to the FY23-24 to 24-25. And also we have processed 1700 metric ton more when compared to the last year.
Okay.
So if you see the margins of last year, obviously, so 5.83 plus 6.83 is the total EBITDA what we got in 23-24. Whereas in 24-25, we got 11.4, which is mainly driven by the capacity utilization and few machinery upgrades, which we have done during the financial year 24-25. So basically, we have invested in our technical know-how, especially the QC machine, what we have invested, we have got very good quality. Basically, when we get the material from our principal, we will test that material. So based on the testing of the material only, we will give the commitment. So that machine also we have changed last year. So this is also contributed significantly to our revenue, as well as the margins.
Okay, let's go, sir.
Yes, sir. So coming to the key ratios, our current ratio is 1.61, and our ROCE as well as ROE is stood at impressive 50%. This is mainly how effectively we are operating. This shows how effectively we are operating with a very thin asset model. And our EPS stood at 9.78 for the last year. And our inventory turnover ratio is down because we have increased our storage facilities to facilitate and streamline our operations. And our inter-service coverage ratio is down also because we have availed fresh term loan to do the capacity expansion. Also, we have availed working capital loan last year. And we have added our vehicles also to support the logistic operations. So this has added to the interest cost. So that's why the interest service coverage ratio is down. Next. Sir, this is the complete snapshot of our financials. The detailed breakups are available in the RHP. So if anyone have questions, you can directly ask us. So even our contact numbers are there in the website. If anyone having any specific doubt on the financials, you can directly give me a call.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the snapshot of the balance sheet. If you see this, there is a significant increase in the loan just because of our capacity expansion, as I said, and also we have purchased 10 vehicles during the year. to support the logistics.
Sir, one question is that we are in our IPO fund usage, we are planning to repay certain debt. Yeah. So we can help us understand what kind of debt are we planning to repay?
Sir, that debt is a long-term debt which has been taken for capacity expansion. Since the IPO is coming for this financial year, we cannot wait for our capacity expansion for last year. So we have raised the debt and done the thing with our loan. So now we want to repay that loan. If anything is required in future, say example, if when we change this model to purchase and sale model, obviously my working capital cycle may increase. So during that time, it will be helpful for us to raise further working capital if required. That's it. So this is the snapshot of our cash flow, sir. If you see, the cash flow from operating activities is positive for all the financial years, and whatever investing activities we have done is only for capacity expansions as well as machinery upgrades and few upgrades in our QC machinery, and also as well as the logistics what we have brought recently.
Understood, sir. So we have some questions. Yeah, I'll just highlight one of them. So the one question on the capacity, I think we have already addressed this, but Kiranji, if you can, again reiterate this particular point, that how do we achieve growth in current financial year?
Kiran, sir,
you're on mute.
I will give him a call. Just give me.
No, I got it. I'm on there. So what we are looking at is not just a capacity increase. What we are looking at is diversification within the solvent recovery. We want to include acetonitrile, THF, IPA, and multiple other high margin products, which will increase the top line and bottom line. And what we want to change is the complete model in the same capacity utilization, or maybe closer to 95 to 100% capacity utilization. If we can achieve much more higher profit making products, we can definitely increase the top line and bottom line. That is the main reason for us to increase our revenue and bottom line within the same capacity utilization, with the same installed capacity.
Okay, understood, sir. One more question is on the employee attrition. We saw that last year there was a very high attrition, and this year is also around 23-24% attrition. Last 2 years I'm talking about. If you can help us understand what was the reason behind this attrition and how you will improve upon this.
So employee attrition is, compared to pharmaceutical industry standards, it is as per the moderate standard only, because a lot of companies want to go with, bigger pharmaceutical companies after, learning a thorough knowledge with regards to, solvent purification after training at our ends. And we are doing different schemes with regards to how we can reduce this aspect of a problem statement. But compared to an industry norm, this is very common in the pharmaceutical industry, because people want maybe higher positions in that, compared to a recycling company. They want a better, higher growth prospect in a pharmaceutical industry where they can go into production of other materials. So that's one aspect.
Okay. Nikesh, over to you if you have any more questions. Maybe we can go into the issue size slide and take it from there.
Yeah.
Next slide, sir. Yes, perfect. So I think we have started from today the issue, right? So if you can tell us a bit more about it.
Sharath, you can, or somebody from the MB side.
MB side is Shamiji can.
I'll bring them in. So Bajajji, if you wanna just tell us about the issue.
Good evening, sir. Sir, we are having the fresh issue of 26,79,000 equity share with a face value of rupees 10 each, and our issue size is rupees 32.68 crores, and our price band with a price band of around 115 to 122 rupees, and our lot size is rupees, 1,000 equity share, and our pre-issue equity share 75 lakh. And after this issue, we are having 1 crore 1 lakh 79,000 equity shares, and the post-issue market cap is around 125 cr, and we are having in this the reserve portion for QIV is up to 126,000 equity shares, and the NIR reserve portion is 12 lakh 9,000 equity share, and retail portion is up to 12 lakh 10,000 equity shares. And the issue is open today, and I think we have fully subscribed the issue, and it's going on around 2 times till now. And the issue closed on 3rd of September, Tuesday, and the listing will take place on NSE Emerge platform on 5th of September 2025.
Thank you. So, Kiranji, with that, I think we are at the end of our session. Nikesh bhai, do you have any more questions?
No, it's a very in-depth, discussions. All the questions that I, feel like I already asked. So good luck to the team.
So, Kiranji, if you, so guys, just want to recap all the, participant in this session who are helping us bring this particular company to the market. So we have Fast Track FinSec as the lead manager. We have Orim Connect as the IR partner. Okay, and from a market making team, we have Nikun Stock Broking as well over here in the call. Yeah. Kiranji, I just wanna, if you wanna give some message to the investor who are listening to you, if you can, please go ahead. Yeah.
Definitely. First of all, thank you so much, all the investors, to taking your time to look into our company. And at the core of our motto is shareholders value maximization, and looking at our concept of recycling. We are not just looking at solvents, and going further, we are looking at multiple other angles of petrochemical derivatives like plastics and recycling of other products as well. So we want to be a one-stop solution for all forms of recycling, and putting the circular economy back into the supply chain. So thank you so much for all the shareholders thank you so much for all the investors who are looking actively for investing in our company, and looking forward for a fruitful collaboration.
Perfect. So with that, guys, we just want to thank everyone to Sharadji and Kiranji for coming here. Best of luck to you for the IPO process. Just want to again, run the disclaimer that guys, this is in this platform, we want you to do your own analysis, ask the questions, understand the company from, promoter themselves, and then make a decision to apply or avoid. Yeah. Some of the company that has been pictured in the platform did not have a very successful listing, while some other company have got more than 90% listing as well. Yeah. So, this particular, will have to do your own due diligence and make a decision. Yeah. So with that, guys, just want to, say happy investing, and we'll see you in the next session. Yeah. Cheers, everyone. Bye.
Bye bye.